This is Hannibal here from the HannibalTV.com, along with none other than Piper, who just woke up after watching Bray Wyatt's return speech to SmackDown, which the WWE posted a short version of it on YouTube, but also someone posted it illegally on YouTube, about a 7-minute long version of it that I watched because I wanted to see what all the hype was. Because apparently he was making, according to Dave Meltzer and reports I've read, he was making about $4 million a year before he was fired on July 31st of last year. And he was fired after he'd asked for some time off. The last time he'd wrestled previous to that was at WrestleMania 35 against Randy Orton. So do the math. You're making $4 million a year. You ask for time off. WrestleMania is in what, March or April, and he's sitting at home. No wonder they probably fired him. You don't want to be paying people contracts that big while they're sitting at home. And you just basically have to do the math. Since he's been gone, apparently there was interest from AEW, AAA, and Impact, but none of them wanted to pay him what WWE wanted to pay him. So that didn't come into fruition, I guess. But as far as the promo, and now I'm not hating on this, but just because I just watched the Jim Johnston shoot interview that John Paz did on this channel, for anyone that doesn't know Jim Johnston, he used to do the majority of the WWE themes, and he was talking about how bad the themes are these days. And maybe it's just because I grew up in an era where the themes were really good, or at least good to my taste. The thing that stood out to me watching the entrance was two things. One, the theme music was really bad. And two, other than the pop when he came out, it seemed like there was almost dead silence between for his walk to the ring, basically. Then he got in the ring and seemed to indicate in his own words he was going to be speaking as someone he'd never spoke of before, indicating like he was almost speaking from the heart, saying that he'd lost a lot of things over the past year and was questioning if anything he did mattered. Well, if you're making $4 million a year, you could look at your bank account. That's a way to substantiate if what you did mattered, because most people won't even make that in their lives. But just basically talked. He's clearly going to be a baby face. Said I love you to one of the fans. Was seeming teary-eyed but staying in character. And then the segment ended with some stuff with various masks popping up on the screen, and then that was about it. Apparently his brother, who played Bo Dallas, they're both Erwin R. Scheister's sons, is expected to be part of this group of 6 that he's expected to bring back. And the brother, whose real name is Taylor Rotundo, might actually play the role of the Fiend. And Eric Rowan, who has done a few appearances here and there since being released, as Eric Redbeard, but hasn't really done anything memorable on the indies. The most memorable thing I can think of that he did was appear on the tribute to Brody Lee segment on AEW when they had that special on Brody Lee that I saw some clips of. But for whatever reason, AEW never signed him. I believe he may have done a couple things on the indies, but not much that I could think of. At one point, someone had approached me about they wanted me to do an interview with him for, I think it was for United Wrestling Network or something. But he had told them he wanted to establish himself more as the Eric Redbeard character. before he started giving shoot interviews, which I guess he never got that character established. So it wouldn't surprise me, as was also reported in the Wrestling Observer this week, they're signing people that were fired, whether they've done anything in the time they're fired or not. So it wouldn't surprise me to have that guy in the group. He's big and looks intimidating. But that's my opinion of it. I did watch the 7-minute version to be able to give an accurate description, and yeah, nothing significant came out of that. But his speech and more images with masks at the end of the speech, and then from what I recall, it didn't even show his face or anything. He just disappeared. So maybe he used his magical powers that we saw in the John Cena match to vaporize and go back to the dressing room or something. Who knows? But let me know what you guys thought of it in the comments, because I always like hearing your opinion. However, I do know a lot of my viewers do not watch WWE. A lot of them are old school fans that just keep up with the news and like the shoot interviews. So have a great evening.
Thank you for watching the Hannibal TV. Please like this video if you enjoyed it, and click the subscribe button to not miss any of our latest shoot interviews, match videos, or news